Namaste, everyone, and welcome. So, I know some of you go, hey, it's supposed to be 7 o'clock. Well, as things open up, things get a little bit busy. So, I was doing a corporate event today, and then family and all that. So, my sincere apologies that I didn't get there on time. But, as you say, we keep going, regardless. So, before we start, let's ask for blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, we thank you for your immense blessings. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahagujumain, we thank you for your light, your love, guidance, help, healing, and wisdom and protection. Thank you. In full faith, so be it. All right, so here we are, we're doing Wednesday Anchor the Light. And on the way here, I was thinking, what should we cover tonight? And what came up to me was nothing, like blank. It's like, what the heck? Then I realized that nothing is actually a teaching. And so oftentimes you see Buddhist monks, right? You talk to them, what are you doing? I'm meditating. Meditating on what? On emptiness, on the void, on nothing. Of course, if you don't have a deeper understanding what nothing is, you go, so you're putting your attention on nothing? So why are you wasting your time with it? Right? So, since nothing came to me on the way here, we'll talk about nothingness. All right? And it's interesting. Today I was doing a corporate training, and one of the things that came up was like, all of us are so busy, especially as things open up. You're trying to do this, you got to do that. At least if you're in the United States, I know some places are still locking down again. One of the biggest challenges a lot of these executives have is they're multitasking so much. They're juggling so many things. Even though they're working remotely, it's like one thing after the other. This meeting, this Zoom meeting, jump to the next one. The next one, it's like, All right? And so one of the things they asked me to talk about in the survey is, okay, how do you deal with all these things happening in your life, being pulled in every direction? Family, work, deadlines. Okay, your own needs. At some point you go, whatever happened to me time? I think some of you can relate, right? So let's just kind of use that as a springboard, because, again, I came up with nothing, so my intuition tells me you're supposed about nothing. Talk about nothing. So let's go in depth about that nothing and how that relates to a super crazy busy life, okay? And when all is said and done, it's as simple as this. Whatever you're doing, be it work, family, home, whatever you're doing, all these things are things that the I am engaging in. It's just at work, okay, I'm using my mind, my emotions, my body to produce a certain result. At home, I'm using my heart, my loving, quality to be more loving to the family. And then when I'm trying to do stuff in between, part of me is like, okay, I've got to use my will to make sure to divide work and home. You're constantly doing this, but the most important part is who is doing it. It always goes back to that. Now, then you go, what's it got to do with nothing? So if you go back and say, okay, how do you define the mover, the feeler, and the thinker? You say, the soul, the spiritual self. I mean, you've heard me say this many, many times. Unless you're new, then I'll just give you a big of a short synopsis is, when you're moving your body, I'm moving my body, the I is moving the body. When I say I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, I'm thinking about a car, a house, or whatever, the I is manufacturing these emotions and manufacturing these thoughts. So the I is the mover, the feeler, and the thinker. Okay? So I know some of you are from Italy. Yes, that time zone works out right now, I think. Oh, no, some of you are asleep. Oops. Anyway, so if you're Italian, the soul is anima, where the word animate comes from. So the spiritual self is animating the body, the emotions, the thoughts to be able to function in the home life and the work life. And so today when I was in that corporate training, one of the things that they always say is like, yeah, I've been pulled in so many directions. How do I actually be able to do everything right without dropping everything? And so the solution I gave everybody is like, first, you have to center yourself. And most people say, oh, I heard the word center. And if you ask anybody, okay, tell me what you mean by center yourself. Most people can give you a direct answer. They go, yeah, just go back to that part of you that is calm and quiet. And that's it. But in reality, your center is who you really are. The one that is initiating, listen carefully, the one that's initiating the movement of the body, initiating this love, or this anger, or this initiating thinking of this formula, or this solution to this problem. So that initiator is the soul, the spiritual self. And that spiritual self, if you define it, what is it? You see, if you cannot define something, you cannot study it. So you have to first ask, what is it, before you know how it works. Make sense? So the soul is pure energy. When I say pure energy, we're talking about not the same energy as Einstein used, which is E is equal to mc squared, because there's still an m. The soul is pure energy, as in energy with no mass. The closest thing to that is light. So that's why oftentimes when you're doing your meditation, when you start experiencing, you notice I didn't say feeling, I said experiencing. It's like you're witnessing or you're observing, like, I don't feel my body touching the chair. I notice emotionally it's quiet, the mind is quiet, and yet there's this someone observing this phenomena. But who is this watcher, observer, witnesser, whatever you want to call it? You said I. So what is the I made of? You see, at that point you cannot say, this is I. No, because you just said, I'm moving my body. So the body could not be the I. So if you're not the body, how do you define yourself? You go, yeah, it's like, I cannot grasp it. Because normally when you say, okay, who moved the table? That person raised their hand. You go, oh, he did. So you can almost like tangibly say, this dude moved the table. Right? So if I ask myself, okay, I moved my arm, who moved the arm? I did. So who's I? It's just like, I define the I. Well, the I that moved the arm. Who is it? What is it? You see what I'm saying? So at that point, you are pinned against the wall saying you cannot go any further. Because you cannot say I is the I that is. You lose a way to define it further. That's when you get to your center. The I is the one that's initiating the movement of the body to go there, come here, go somewhere else, to feel these feelings, to think these thoughts. So that I is made of pure energy with no mass. So when you're talking to a monk and say, oh yeah, I'm meditating on nothing, nothingness. In fact, in Chinese, it's called Kong. Kong means nothing, empty. Right? If you're from India, you call it shunya or shunyata. And I remember when I was in Greece, when they were had me talk about the Greek mythology, you talk about where the gods came from the Titans, came from the void. What is the void? Nothing. Exactly the point. And so if you define what is God, you cannot say metal, plastic, skin. It's nothing. It's a being. Define it. Exactly the point. So at some point, your logical mind loses the ability to grasp anything because there's nothing to grasp. So the soul, the spiritual self, is formless. Okay? So that formlessness is interpreted by yogis and monks when they're doing meditation. There's nothing to grasp, so therefore they go, this nothingness or this pure energy is my true essence. So if that is my true essence, but I also experience that this true essence has a consciousness, and somehow in your meditation you experience this nothingness with consciousness seem to be connected to a bigger something, well actually not something, a certain energy, for lack of a better way of saying it, you go, oh, so if I'm formless, the soul, the spiritual self is formless, then therefore I'm part of something even more formless. That is God. The all-encompassing, all-intelligent, all-powerful, pervasive energy that permeates the universe and the universe is this being's body. And you go, wow, mind blown. That's what you call oneness. Now, why is that important? Of course, I didn't go to this much detail in the corporate world. They're going to go, what is this guy doing? He's like, this is hocus pocus stuff. So I have to keep it a little more, what do you call it, grounded. So basically, I just explained that, look, until you know who's moving the body, creating the feelings and the thoughts, who's creating the stress energy, who's creating the confusion, all you're doing is fixing the effect, not the cause. So the first thing you need to do is go to your center and know who you are. And the only way, well, not the only, one of the easiest way to do that is through meditation. So when you get to that point, you're experiencing, be still, and you just let go. It's just like, I'm hearing this guy's voice, but at the same time, I know I'm hearing with my physical ears, there's sound waves, but at the same time, there's part of me that's not feeling my body. I just kind of exist. So at that point, you get a little glimpse of who the I really is, which is just pure energy, and you are the center of your circumference, or the center of your world, center of your universe. So from that point, from that perspective of your center, here's the most important part. That's what you have, that's when you have clarity. Because until you get to that point, I know some of you don't want to hear this, until you make decisions from that perspective, we are puppets or being manipulated by circumstances. What do you mean I'm being manipulated? Well, this thing has to be done, this has to be done, that has to be done, I'm doing it. Exactly. So if it's not there, this is not be there, would you be running in those directions? No. Exactly. So those circumstances are forcing the I to submit to those things. I hope this is not too esoteric for you because, as I said, on my drive here to get here, I came up with nothing, so I figured let's dive into nothing. But this nothing is not what most people think. Nothing is your essence, the pure energy. And that's where inner peace and stillness lies. Oftentimes people go outside trying to find it. I mean, I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to who have money, have fame, have all this stuff. They go out searching using psychedelic plants, drugs, and whatever else because they're looking for that expansion. I covered this in one of the talks before. And I remember my teacher, whenever we had this conversation, he would say, yeah, some people are able to experience some level of perception of the inner world or the energy world with those things, but rarely is it permanent. And if it's permanent, it's usually damaging. I go, okay. And I'll just talk about it very quickly. Because what happens is if you have energy centers, your chakras, just like your eyes, have eyelids. So your chakras also have energetic eyelids. So in order to perceive these higher dimensions or these inner worlds, your energetic eyelid has to open. When that one up here opens, that's what you call clairvoyance. The problem is, if you use artificial means of doing it, you're forcing it open. So when you're forcing it open, you might be able to open it. The question is, can you close it? That's why I've heard of people, I actually know people who went to those trips or those journeys, they have a great time. They go, oh, I experienced love, never experienced before, so much expansion. And of course I go, and why are you here? Yeah, but when I came back, when I have to deal with work, with family, and then after that, I pretty much know. You look at their face, they don't want to keep going. Let me explain what happened. When you go on those journeys, they're great and wonderful as long as you stay there. Because usually they take you out in the middle of nowhere where the energy is clean, you don't have stress energy, so you open up your windows. Okay? Now you come back to the city where there's psychic pollution, right? Stress, anger, whatever, and your window's wide open, guess what comes in? And so from like, to like, ugh. Now the difference is if you do it through spiritual practice, you do your meditation, this eyelids, these windows open slowly like, like some of you, haven't you noticed sometimes you're meditating, it's just very still, very quiet. So you didn't experience much. You just quiet and still. And then you're working, suddenly you see a flash of light. Right? That experience? Just a flash of light, you go, what was that? And you look, there's nothing there. There's no window, there's no light that flash. You just genuinely saw a flash of light. Or sometimes in meditation, you see blinking light. You go, that's strange. You open your eyes, there's nothing for you to blink. Exactly the point. So what happened is, as you do your meditation, you're softening that, I just lack of a better word, membrane, where it opens, close, and sometimes at the least expectation, the least you expect it, it kind of goes, peekaboo. You go. See, the flash of light that you saw, there was no flash of light. Look, okay, I'm in the studio, so there's light here, right? So if my eyelids are closed, you know, I don't see the light, maybe a little bit, okay, but literally my eyelids are closed. If I go like this, what does my brain register? A flash of light. But was the light flashing? No. What happened was the windows open and close. So when you do your meditation and spiritual practice, I know some of you go, it's taking so long. Hear me out. I know, I can relate. Because when I got into panicking, Arhatic Yoga, 1988, a lot of my colleagues could feel energy, could see energy, they have visions. I'm the dumb engineer who's like, I don't see anything. Like, oh, I feel so much love. And Grandmaster Joe says, okay, any feedback? A lot of my colleagues say, Master, I saw this brilliant light. I felt that angel hug me. I'm going, what's wrong with me? I didn't see anything. I didn't feel anything. In fact, what the heck am I doing here? You get my point? Because in my case, I didn't feel a darn thing. Because I'm so left-brained, even if there's a flash of light, I'll go, yeah, something wrong with the light. Or I just feel like a burst of energy. Yeah, the AC is blowing my back. You know what I mean? In other words, my mental faculty was so active, it did not allow for these sensations to come in. So it took me many years when Master Cho started explaining to me where he says, you have to differentiate concentration and meditation. By the way, if you guys want to know about it, I highly recommend. Okay? And we'll teach the classic in a few months, Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul. It's covered in there. Okay? This is not an infomercial. I'm just letting you know because he goes through it in detail in the book. But I'll give you a little bit of introduction. So you have to differentiate what's using your will and using your heart. Every time you're driving forward, you're thinking, you're using your will. Every time you're using your heart is when you kind of let go. Just allow it to come to you. Well, I didn't know that. He didn't explain that in 1988. So everybody's meditating, blissing out of their mind. I'm going, it's just like, meditation to hearts. Imagine a point of light on top of your head. Be still, and he chants Om, right? And here I am, okay, this point of light. And of course, the engineering mind goes, well, on top of your head, like an inch, 2 inch? How bright is that light? It's like a 5-watt bulb, 10-watt bulb. Am I looking from the bottom? Am I looking from the top? Looking from the side? What is he talking about? And then he goes like this. Come back to your body. I'm going, I never left. You see what I'm saying? Because also the opposite side of the spectrum. Now, a lot of my colleagues, they've done practice, or they're just loving people instead of a moving sledgehammer like me. So they were already very heart-oriented, so they felt it right away. So in my case, I had to journey to that side, because if you want to open those eyelids, the way it's done is through love, through compassion, through allowing nature to happen. Yeah, good luck to a guy like me, right? So, in my case, I was the last one to see, last one to feel, everything last one. Oh, man. Oh, well. Anyway, at least I produced result. At least that was my saving grace. So, over the years, I had to learn how to, so like some of you going, let go. What does it mean by let go? Let go of what? There's your problem. Because you're already analyzing what to let go. Let go means whatever. That's letting go. It's like, okay, we're meditating. He says let go. Well, nothing else to do, so whatever. It's like, if something happens, great. If not, whatever. At least I get my me time being quiet. That's already part of letting go. Now, why are we talking about this? Because in order to experience that energy world through meditation, you have to learn at some point to just use your heart and just allow the experience to come to you. I think most of you, if you're an overachiever, I know a lot of you came from Tony Robbins' event where it's like, come on, let's get this done. And one of the complaints I always says is, yeah, how do you do that? What do you mean let go? Because we're used to what? Making things happen. Letting go is letting things happen to you. Did you guys get that? It's like, come on, let's make things happen. Letting go, in meditation is what? Okay, I've done what I can. I did meditate. I did visualization. I chanted, blah, blah. Now, I'm just going to lean back and let it come to me. That's letting go. That's using your heart. That's like, I'm not going to push the issue. If it happens, great. If not, I'll just chill. That's letting go. Make sense? So, what happens is, in order to experience that nothingness within you, there has to be a right combination of using your will to raise your frequency. Once you go beyond the body, the emotions, and thoughts when you're experiencing nothing, you have to let go of your will. See, the mistake a lot of us made, I don't know if you guys did it, but I sure did. Okay, be aware of the point of light. Let go. Let go of what? I'm just looking at that light. Guess what you did? You did not let go because you're still staring at that light. So the key is like, okay, visualize that light, chant Om. In between each Om is a silence. There's nothing to do there anyway, so whatever. Just chill. Oh, there's another Om. Om. Okay, I don't know when the next Om is. Okay, let me just chill. You see, what you don't realize, when you're just chilling, you're letting go. And when you're letting go, you basically go, letting go, whatever comes will come. And that's how you dive into that ocean of nothingness. Because when you're not forcing it, and you're already at that frequency, when you're not forcing it, you're already swimming in it. All you need to do is what? Look at me. Let it come in. That's it. Very simple. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Yeah, I'm very empathic. I'll let it in. But I get people's crap. There's your problem. You're letting go or letting stuff come in while you're still in the mud. You see, the trick, your problem is not because you're not allowing things to happen. In fact, you're so good at it. It's just you're doing it at the wrong place. While you're still swimming in people's mud, you go, okay, I'll take it in. Of course you're going to feel their crap. It's just like going into a crowded place and then suddenly cranking up your ears to be 10 times sensitive. And you're complaining of noise? I think there's a problem in it. Now, what would be the difference if you went to the top of a mountain in a secluded continent and then you crank up your ears or your microphones? Then you hear the trees, you hear the breeze, you hear the birds. You get the idea? So when you're very empathic, I hope I'm saying not empathetic, empathic, I think, right? It's not because you're not the feeling kind. You're right. You just need to what? Raise your frequency and turn your antenna on. Because who wants to feel everybody's crap? I mean, that's a mistake I've seen people do. They go, oh yeah, I'm so sensitive, I'm feeling everybody's stuff. And? Well, you're still there. No, I can't leave. This is where I work. I go, okay. You come to the right place. So we teach them how to meditate. So in that meditation, we teach them to raise their frequency. So they could be working in a stressful place without creating energy shields and wearing, Mr. T ton of crystals. They can be protected even though they're empathic and sensitive to people around them. You know how you do it? Very simple. When we get together, when we do our meditation, you do a meditation, Twin Hearts, and other type of meditation, you're actually raising the frequency of your overall energy body. As you keep raising your frequency, when you go back to those situations, you might notice a contrast between you and the people around you, but you sense it, but you don't naturally allow them to come in because energy is what? You have the law of attraction. Similar qualities Attract opposites, repel. Come on, you guys, you like quoting the law of attraction, so live it. Keep raising your frequency so you attract higher frequencies. And so you're in the midst of people screaming and yelling. You notice there's some people, if you do a lot of meditation, you get in the midst of people screaming and yelling, you go, whatever. You know why? Because it could be screaming and yelling. You could be, okay, whatever, I'll just raise my frequency. That's it. You could have waves going through, but if you have a strong anchor, you stay still. So that nothingness is actually your true essence. And when you go back to your true essence, the real I, then you're back to the center of your universe. You get to observe, and you get to decide what I should do with my body, what should I do with my emotions, what should I do with my thoughts. Now imagine what would be like if you're a business CEO and be able to do that. You're unstoppable. Because you can go back to that center, have that clarity, what is a good opportunity, what's not a good opportunity. Your biases are basically thought forms that you created before. But if you're in that state of stillness, these biases are held at a distance, so you get to see, oh yeah, I noticed this person influenced me because we went to school together, so he's trying to get a deal to sign. Oh, I see. Oh, I think this is a good deal. I might not like this guy, but he's a jerk, but he has a good opportunity. Get the idea? You can't do that if you're swimming in their mud. So meditation is going to your center, to that state of nothingness, which is actually beingness at the same time. And it sounds like a contradiction, but in that state of nothingness and beingness, you have peace, you have stillness, and you have clarity. That's it. For free. I don't have to smoke anything or drink anything. Energy is free. I think I should charge you guys so you guys will practice. Sometimes when people pay for stuff, they will do it. If you don't charge them, they don't do it. I mean, I've been doing this for a year and a half. We don't charge you anything. Some of you don't take it for granted. You don't take it seriously. You take it for granted. That's why you're not improving. But there are souls that are thirsty for it. They practice anyway, so you get your own reward. You can only advance and develop as much as you take it seriously. So when you meditate, we meditate. When you're having fun, you're having fun. When it comes to meditate spiritual practice, go all in. Okay? So I hope that short talk on nothingness helps. So next time you see people going, yeah, everything is nothingness, then you know what they're talking about. But if you don't want to mess with them, you go like this. Define that nothingness. If they're just quoting some book, they would have no clue what to tell you. They go, baby. But if they know what they're talking about, they will say, nothingness is the essence of everything. Then you go, wow, very wise grasshopper. Okay, some of you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now, let me leave you one thought to blow your mind. This nothing, this pure energy with consciousness, permeates the entire universe. So literally, if I take this cup, it might be solid. However, you already know this, made of molecules in between our spaces. Molecules are made of atoms in between our spaces. Between the nucleus and the electrons, there's a space. The nucleus itself is 99.9 something percent empty space. But scientists already told us in quantum mechanics, it's pure energy. It's energy that if you're able to harness it, one little cup, what did I see on that show on TV? It says it's enough energy, if you can harness fully, to boil and vaporize all the liquids or the water in the universe, not in the universe, on Earth, or light up a whole city for days. It's like, wow. I think that's what they call 0-point energy. Anyway, so here's the interesting part. This so-called pure energy that permeates the entire universe actually permeates everything. So just imagine, if I put a sponge in water, at some point, the water is permeating the sponge. So just imagine anything that you can see and touch, there's this life force, there's this energy that permeates everything. That will explain why a lot of you, when you're in deep meditation, it almost feels like the walls are not there. It's almost like when you're in deep meditation, you go, that's strange. How come I'm in another country? You see, people talk about remote viewing. I know some of you taking courses in remote viewing. It's a term that is used, but you're not really remote viewing. You know what you're doing? All you're doing is experiencing yourself as pure energy, and since all energy is interconnected in the universe, you're connected to that place, wherever it is, that you want to remotely view, and your consciousness is instantly there. It travels faster than the speed of light. So in science, they don't have a word for it, so they just call it quantum entanglement. Something happens in one side of the universe, has a corresponding identical effect, or not simultaneous effect on another part of the universe that are light years away. A light year, as most of you know, is a year. It takes light a year to get from one place to the other. So for it to happen simultaneously, there's no way a regular signal could be sent there. You know what I mean? So, but how in the world could something happen here and here simultaneously? The two particles must be entangled. Anyway, some of you probably know this more than this than I do. But in reality, that's what the yogis call oneness. Because we're all swimming in this ocean of energy. And since the eye is made of energy, guess what? You're part of the network. That's it. Simple. So what science is doing is just merely getting a glimpse of what yogis, monks, and spiritual practitioners know since the start of time, called oneness. But they cannot call it oneness, so they have to come up with quantum entanglement, write down some formula, the speed of light, and so on, and then they realize consciousness travels faster than the speed of light. Then your formula is screwed. Make sense? That's that. But it's still good to have it because it helps explain a lot of things. And if you talk about quantum mechanics, it makes you sound intelligent. So I try it now and then just to sound like, give the illusion that I know what I'm talking about. No, I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, I hope I didn't waste your time talking about nothing. So I'll leave you with one little tip. When we're doing the meditation, okay, which we're going to do right now, so you don't have to just hear me yak for hours. When we go into that part, we say, be still and let go. Listen. Don't be looking for something to grasp. Because the minute you look for something to grasp, your frequency plunges to the physical world. And if you had that experience, you go, yeah. And then suddenly you hear the doorbell rings, or something moves, or whatever. You kind of go, crash landing. You know why? Because hearing, feeling, touching, a lot of those belong to the body, the emotion, and thoughts, which vibrates lower than the soul. So in deep meditation, when you get to the part where you're almost floating, you're almost there, when I say be still, let go, and you go, let go of the light, let go of this. So what happens is your conscious mind is now trying to grasp something. And that so-called something you're grasping is vibrating only in the lower worlds, lower frequencies. So in order to be able to grasp it, guess what? Your frequency has to plunge. Then you go, best I got in meditation. I'm kind of relaxed. It's your fault, buddy. You did not follow, as my teacher says, simple instructions. I never said, be still, let go, and try to find something to put your attention to. Man, this sounds like a therapy session, huh? Some of you, yeah, it's spiritual therapy. No, I'm just letting you know, because I know it's like to be in some of your situation going, yeah, I don't get it, I don't feel it. Everybody's blissing out, how come I'm not getting anywhere? Yes, you are getting where. The only problem is most of the time you're overthinking it. And not just to make you feel better because you're an intelligent person. The problem is sometimes that intelligence gets in the way. And I'm not saying you become dumb. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's a time to use your intelligence, There's a time to use your physical will. There is a time to just let your heart open and soak it in. That's it. As Tony Robbins says, it's the syntax, the order. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty weird, huh? For someone who was going to talk about nothing, that sure went for a while. So I hope you learned something. Shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, personally to my beloved and respected teacher, Grandmaster Chokok Sui Mahaguju Meiling, we thank you for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your guidance, help, healing, wisdom, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. Okay, you guys ready? By the way, before you guys space out, because I know if I make announcements afterwards, some of you are like, what did he say? So this Friday, schedule is the same. We have a 10 a.m. and then 6 p.m. And it's going to be, let's see, what is the rotation? The morning one is prosperity healing. The evening one is emotional healing. But I usually tie both together. All right? Now, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. You know, we're doing this 6 times a week, and I'll do my darndest to always be here. But, you know, as things open up, I travel more, or sometimes I'm online at a certain time. So just, I want to apologize ahead of time. You just be patient. Sometimes I have to adjust the schedules, just like we did today. This is not my only responsibility, but I gave you my commitment to do this, to guide you and to help you out, so that you can have a routine and schedule. I'll do whatever I can. When I travel, I'll try to make it work. If I can't, and listen carefully, what I'll do most of the time is I'll record a video which is relevant to that talk, or the talk is part of it in the meditation, and all you got to do is press play and go through it. Okay? I mean, you just have to do the best we can. All right, ready? Okay, put your hand like this. Tap your crown. Repeat, I am that. I am. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion, I'm not the thoughts. These are all creations of the I, the soul. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine will, or divine power. I am that. That is my true nature. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. Just be still. Be aware of your true nature. A being of pure energy with no mass or nothing. Just pure energy with intelligence and consciousness. That is the real I. Now open your hands in blessing. Just say, we are one, our hearts are one, our souls are one, there is only oneness. Now imagine the earth in front of you. Just say, we are one. Tonight we will do the great invocation. So imagine all of us are inside the big bright sun, looking out into the solar system, and looking at Mother Earth. Just say, our hearts are one, our souls are one, we are one. We're one with God's essence in the sun. Or in Theosophy, it's called the central spiritual sun. The solar logos, or simply God's essence in the solar system. We are one. Let us chant Om 3 times to open up the energy portal or the energy channel to pour light into the earth. Om. We are one. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. Collectively, bless every person, every being with light, with divine intelligence, with wisdom, understanding, and discernment. So be it. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. Collectively, let's project love to every person, every being on earth. Every person, every being, especially the people we know, flood them with love, with kindness, with sweetness, with mercy and compassion for every person, every being. Mercy and compassion to all. So be it. Bless all the people you know who are ruthless or hurtful. Flood them with love, with kindness, with compassion. So be it. So be it. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters and the spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. I just bless every person, every being on earth with goodwill. Not just the intention or the talk of doing good, but actually taking action on serving others. If you know people who just like to criticize and talk about what needs to be changed, bless them with goodwill to take action, to manifest the goodness that's within them. So be it. From the center which we call the human race and all the other races, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend throughout the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore the divine plan on earth. So be it. Just be still, keep your tongue in your palate. The stillness allow the triple or the Trinitarian energy to flow through us. Divine intelligence, divine love, and divine willpower. Again, from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. Bless every person, every being with light. Light is another term in spirituality as intelligence, higher intelligence, wisdom, understanding, discernment. Bless every person, every being you know, especially the ones who are very gullible, who don't think for themselves, or they just simply believe everything. Bless them with divine intelligence and wisdom. So be it. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend throughout the entire earth. Bless every person you know, your family, your friends, people you work with. Flood all of them with divine love, with kindness in their heart, with sweetness and compassion for all beings. So be it. So be it. And so it is. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters and the spiritual hierarchy know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend throughout the entire earth. Bless every person you know with goodwill, Not just to watch and criticize and say this has to be done, that is right, not right, but actually doing something about it. Let the goodness within them manifest as actions. Goodwill and the will to do good. So be it. From the center which we call the human race and all the other races, let the plan of love and light work out, and may seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, love, and power descend toward the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore the divine plan on earth now. So be it. So be it. Just be still. For the third one, it'll be done for you. So just imagine a point of light on top of your head and just look out into the universe from that perspective. In other words, just imagine you're in that point of light. After all, you are a being of pure energy. Just be aware of that beautiful light on top of your head. Just be there and listen. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend toward the entire earth. Just be still. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let divine love descend toward the entire earth. May God's messenger of love return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the Holy Masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the willingness to do good descend toward the entire earth. From the center which you call the human race, the angelic race, and all the different races, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where any evil dwells. Let light, let love, let power descend toward the entire earth. Let light, love, and power restore the divine plan on earth. Now, so be it. Be still and just allow the energy to flow through us. We're just the pipelines. May all be blessed. Channel that energy to bless your family, your work, your city, your state, your country. A lot of you, are putting in the comments that asking for blessings for your family, your work. Well, guess what? You have a big hose right now. Aim it. Just aim that hose of love and light and power and blessings to whatever you want. Blessings be to all. So it is. Now let's chant Om 3 times verbally. Om. Now gently lower your hands on your lap. Just keep your eyes closed, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And again, above your head, just look at that beautiful golden light floating above your head. Be still and just observe that beautiful golden light. and listen from within that golden light. Om. Ahum. Be still. Om. Ahum. Allow your awareness to just keep drifting higher and higher. Just like letting go of a balloon, just let it keep floating on its own. Om. Ahum. Let go. Just whatever happens, happens. Just let things be. Now. Gently, slowly, come back to your body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly, come back. Just gently raise your hands. Just imagine the people you love in front of you. Fill them all with beautiful golden light, your family, your friends, people you care about. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with prosperity, and with spirituality. May all of them be blessed. So be it. Now be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Project golden light down into the earth. Fill the earth below you with golden light. And just repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth and all her children and all of creation be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let all be blessed, be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to all. So be it, and so it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahagu Jumain, thank you for your immense blessings. In full faith, and so it is. Okay, open your eyes. Now I hope you got a taste of nothingness, like floating in the middle of nowhere, like you're in outer space, or you see galaxies, like, I don't know, as if I fell asleep. That's the right feeling. It's that point where your body's awake and your body's asleep. In that interim time where you're like floating, you're getting a glimpse of nothingness. Yeah, That's it. All right. So again, my sincere apologies that we didn't. We're not able to do the morning session, and the evening one were delayed by an hour, almost an hour, 15 minutes. But hey, better than nothing. Okay. So we will see you Friday morning, or wherever you are. You guys do the adjustment, 10 a.m. And then evening is 6 p.m. We'll do. I'm almost sure. I have to look at the rotation. I think the morning one is prosperity healing. The evening one is emotional healing. Anyway, they're all interconnected. When you're emotionally filled with anger, stress, and whatever crap, it affects your finances. When your finances aren't doing too hot, you're stressed out of your mind. So they're kind of connected. Either way, what we do, I connect the two, so it's best to have both, so you get the, as we call it, chakra scrubbing on both. All right? So, namaste, everyone. You all take care. We wish you much love. And thank you for allowing me to serve you. We will see you Friday morning. God bless. Take care.